Welcome to Panoramic ViewPoints. My name is Jericho.
And I'm Eli.
Let's get started. So today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to be doing a discussion. And the topic of our discussion today is, should Christian movies be rated R? And so we both wrote out some paragraphs or whatever like that. Well, he did.
I did not write a paragraph.
He did in his head. I actually have it written out here.
So I'm assuming that most of these films are based off true stories, right?
Yeah, most likely.
Pretty well.
If you believe that the Bible is true, historical, accurate.
Right.
Which I do.
Okay.
Yes.
So I think it comes down to two things.
Yes.
It depends on the story.
Yes.
And it depends on the audience that you're trying to reach.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So I think like think of Passion of the Christ.
Yes.
And
I have that in my notes.
I assume you did, but
Yeah.
just like the brutality
Yep.
that they portray that like Jesus went through.
Yes.
You're kind of reaching an adult audience there,
Right.
and I think it's a good thing that it was like that, because
Yeah,
then it's kind of
definitely.
like, oh, he went through that for us.
Yeah,
right?
for sure, which is awesome. Yeah.
So there's that. You're trying to reach a certain audience, and you want to like accurately portray what happened.
Yeah.
So it kind of like you kind of feel it more, like what actually happened.
Right.
And then
it hits more, I guess,
Yeah,
right? Yeah,
yeah.
for sure.
And then the other side of it is it's based on like also the story that you're trying to portray on the film.
Yeah.
Like, say it's a story of like Jesus, or maybe something like sexual abuse or something like that.
Something, yeah.
And you kind of want to make sure that you kind of show what actually happened.
Right.
So that people can feel like the situation, and they're kind of, because it's the emotional side, right? And you want,
for sure.
if you get the emotional side involved, then you can, convince people one way or the other, or, get to feel the film a little more.
So what do you think are the limits of what, like, let's say you have a story about sexual abuse, right? What do you think is the limit of what you can show on screen?
I mean, yeah, like, obviously you don't want to go like super overboard,
For sure.
but
Yeah.
as long as the point gets across.
As long as the
right?
point gets across.
I don't think it should go like too far, obviously, because that would be kind of
a little bit on the edge kind of thing, right? Yeah, for
but
sure.
as long as you know what's happening,
Yeah.
and then you can kind of sympathize with the character.
So I have it kind of like more brought into like certain categories or whatever like that. So like if you talk about gore, right? Is it acceptable for gore to be in a Christian movie? Like you said, as long as it's not needless gore.
Yeah.
Like that. It's like, it's not just there just to be there or whatever. It's with the story. It's, showing what the brutality is of it. Because there's so many times in the Bible, like there's like this one story where this guy has like this crazy long sword, and he stabs it right into this fat guy, and the sword like completely disappears, and it's like, that's what it shows in the Bible, right?
Yeah.
And so it's like, it'd be kind of cool to see like what that would look like on the TV screen, right? So that's something that, helps with the story. Swearing. Do you think that they should have swearing in a Christian movie?
Well, I mean, I guess it depends. Like,
Yeah.
are you doing a story from the Bible, or are you doing like a movie that's based off like a recent true story? Because I think like if you're doing a story that's like based off like somebody that was in a gang maybe or something like that, obviously if you want to make it feel realistic, then you're not gonna hold back on like profanity, because obviously it's not gonna be like that.
No, for sure.
You're reaching an adult audience, then make it as realistic as possible. But if you want to make it so that it's kind of like a more family friendly environment, so that like everybody can watch it, then obviously you can tone back a little bit. But I think there should be a realm of movies that kind of give you the realistic approach.
You know what always frustrates me so much is when you're watching an historical movie, and then they're like using the F word and using what, and it's like they never said that back then. And it's just needless swearing. And like, sure, I agree with you with if it's like a gang movie or something, and I don't know, something gang member, gets saved, or I don't know, whatever. And obviously, for sure, if it kind of helps story, as long as it's not overused, it's not needless. Yeah, for sure. So I feel like me and Eli are quite on the same.
It would be interesting, like, to watch like a biblical movie and like they use the same dialogue.
Sex. So in the Bible, it does say that if you lust after a woman, that you commit adultery with her in your heart. Now, there is a lot of sex in the Bible, but I just don't think that you should just be doing blown out nudity or whatever like that just for the sake of doing it. I think it should be implied. Right? Implied, yes, for sure. Definitely. So
however far you have to go to imply it, but like obviously it's not necessary to do the whole thing on the
exactly. Yeah. And as long as it is with the story, right? Yeah. Kind of goes to the same thing with, violence, gore, swearing kind of thing like that. As long as it is with the story, I think it's fine. Yeah. So, yeah.
If it's a plot point in the story, like maybe it's like committing adultery, right? You need to make sure that people know that happened, right?
For sure. So definitely.
But like you said again, like if it's needless, then it's kind of just like, what's the point of this?
What's the point of it, right? There is a story about King David and his son. I can't remember what his son's name is, but it was Absalom's sister, and she pretty much gets raped by this Absalom's brother, and so that starts like a whole story arc. Yeah. This one point where Absalom eventually turns against King David, he kills his brother, kind of thing like that. If you're making a movie about that story, I feel like it would be necessary to show what happened, right? Yeah. So even
but
if
not
it's just
like,
a little bit. Yeah.
Not like, people don't want to see like the whole
thing. The whole thing,
but,
but it's emphasized. Of what, for sure.
And you want to make sure that you kind of show like the emotional pain that she was going through, experiencing during that time. But
honestly, if you read it in the Bible, it's a very emotional scene. It's pretty crazy. But to kind of wrap this up, I think the one director, and Eli already mentioned a movie that he's made, but he seems to have found the perfect balance in my mind, and that's Mel Gibson. And he made two incredible movies called The Passion of the Christ and Hacksaw Ridge. Right. And those movies are very gory. I don't think there's swearing in Hacksaw Ridge, is there? I can't remember, but there's definitely like no sex or anything like that. Yeah. But I honestly feel like he has found that like perfect balance of being an R-rated film, but also having that emotional impact in a good movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was such a good
film.
It
reaches like the audience, like anybody could watch it.
Yeah, too, definitely. For sure. So, but anyway, what did you guys think of this discussion? It's kind of like the first time Eli and I have tried doing a more serious kind of discussion like this. We might do some more. But please write down in the comments below what you guys thought of this discussion. And I look forward to hearing some more viewpoints on this one, actually. So, Anyway, please subscribe and give the video a like. And we'll see you later. What did you think of that one?
Good.
Yeah. Oh, it wasn't recording.
Yeah, solid recording the whole time.